All right, now we have our special guest, Dr. Michael Williams. And I just want to say a few words about Michael. And, Michael, it's just been great. And thank you so much for coming on this call. We really appreciate coming on this call. And we know how hard you work and your time is so valuable. But Michael, I want people to and I want to go back in time in January, that's when I really got to know you, Michael. We spent 2 weeks almost every night talking to folks from around the world. And, I just want everybody to know that you speak from the heart, and it's you that really turned on the light bulb. And I wanted to bring you on tonight for the existing founders and potential founders and business owners. And, it's just been amazing, because really when ONPASSIVE really gets going here and gets into your blood, you can't stop talking about it. And you know what? You're part of the legal counsel. I know that. I want you to talk a little bit about your history and what you think about ONPASSIVE and how you got involved. And you go way back, right at the very beginning. And congratulations to my friend. You're the #1 person on the leadership, on the leaderboard. And I know you're a big influencer in the legal counsel. So Michael, thank you so much. We're so honored to have you on the call. Say a few words to our audience, please.
Well, thanks so much, Frank. It's great to be here. It's always a pleasure anytime I get an opportunity to speak about ONPASSIVE. For me, I've been on the internet for more than 10 years now. Internet marketing, that's my specialist, email marketing in particular. And for me, I've always thought, why is it not possible to join a company and you simply pay the company and then the company can do the work for you? Why not? They have the resources, they have the manpower, et cetera. And so I created my own system called Automatic Internet Millionaire. And basically, it was really for people to get involved in a business whereby all they had to do was just get in, and so that was my kind of mindset 10 years ago, and jump forward, to 2018, where a good friend of mine shared ONPASSIVE with me. And it didn't take me long to realize exactly what was going on, because I was using a lot of these digital tools. I was using autoresponders, capture pages, bulk mailer, all these different tools that I was already using. So I was familiar on the product side of things, and then when I get to understand what the CEO, Ash Mafara, was all about, the type of person that he was, and what the plans, goals, mission, vision, et cetera, was for the company, I was sold, and so I locked arms with him and just went to work immediately. And I'm telling you, it's the best decision I've ever made. So for now, for the past year and a half or so, I would say that I've dropped everything, including what I was doing before, and just been focused on ONPASSIVE, simply because I believe that this is the last business anyone will ever need, and so as I look at the products, look at the suite, I look at the comparison that's out there in the marketplace, and just see everything, in under one umbrella, more cost effective, it's truly a winner. There's no doubt about that. And this company will create, I would say, more millionaires than any other company, period, in the marketplace. So I look forward to seeing how it's going to transform so many people's lives.
Awesome, Michael. Michael, I got a few questions from some of our founders, some of our guests, and I'd like to share some of those with you. Now, you just touched on a couple of things. You've been in this business for quite some time. You're a mathematician, etc. Just, one of the things that keep coming up is ONPASSIVE really that good? Can we get the numbers, some of the numbers that have been out there that I've been sharing? Can you just tell us what your thoughts about number of customers? We don't, and also how much money have you made since you started with ONPASSIVE?
Well, I'll answer the last one. How much money have I made? Zero. I've not made a dime. This is not some game or anything like that. It's a real business, and so we are in pre-launch. The company's building everything from scratch. We know back then, back in 2018, summer of 2018, there was nothing. It was just an idea, and that has blossomed now to over 620,000 individuals get involved in this company. That is massive. That I can't think of another company who has done that. So as I look at that, that just gives me the framework that I need to see that numbers wise, whatever income a person can imagine that is realistic, they can achieve it with ONPASSIVE. There's no doubt about that. By the time we get to the actual hard launch, I suspect we're going to have about 1 million founders in, and then there'll be no more founders position. Okay, so then the company will go to work for all of us, and simply they're going to set up our domain name, a unique domain name for people, all the back-end stuff, the autoresponders, capture pages, and all of that. And then they will go and find the potential customers. And this is the beauty of artificial intelligence. This is the beauty of technology. You by yourself, you're not going to bring in 100 million customers. You're just not going to do it, right? But with technology, you certainly can. And that's what we see projected in the first 12 months, that yes, it's very realistic, very, very realistic to see 100 million customers in the first 12 months of this business. So can you imagine if you have, 100,000 of those 100 million on your team? Can you imagine if you have 1 million customers on your team? So that's where the numbers and the income come from. It's from customers, right? And so we know that there's almost 5 billion internet users that's out there, right? And so 100 million is nothing, Frank. So definitely in the first 12 months, I foresee, think of Facebook. Facebook has over 3 billion when you combine WhatsApp and Instagram and so on. Under the Facebook umbrella, but there's no reason why ONPASSIVE cannot receive at least 1 billion users. There's no reason for that not to happen. So I clearly see that happen in the near future as we proceed with the launch and so on, for sure.
Michael, I know you know a lot about the numbers, and when you speak about the numbers and you're so confident about it, it just makes me feel that much better about it. And I really believe, and I actually concur with everything that you just said. When you have an audience of 5 billion people, I mean, and the products, and I know the types of products that Ash is going to be bringing out with the quality. He's showed us quality insurance and all that stuff. Like, it's a done deal, and it's absolutely amazing. So I'm going to run through a few things that keep coming up that, our founders talk about, and they just need reassuring. And it's just great to have it from you. You've been around since 2018. When somebody joins, and there's one thing that it's everywhere. One time out of pocket, $97. One time out of pocket once we were founder. And what happens thereafter? How does the mechanism work so that they don't have to put out money anymore any month? And are they going to be generating, as a reseller, any income from that? Can you just kind of give us an overview? Because that's got to be the number one question that keeps coming up over and over again.
Yeah, well, I mean, it starts with the products, Frank. So if we just think about them, right? And I'll just touch on just a few, right? We know that e-learning platform, for example, that's a massive industry, projected to be over $350 billion by the year 2025. So what's going to happen, instead of people using like Udacity or Udemy, they're going to use ONPASSIVE Academy, right? Instead of people using, a GoFundMe for crowdfunding, right? We know the large fees that they charge and so on, yet they make over $100 million per year in revenue. Right? So instead of using GoFundMe, people will be able to use Bless powered by ONPASSIVE, right? Zoom, we're on Zoom right now. We know if someone gets a Zoom account and they have 10,000 attendees, it's going to cost them, $6,500 US per month. Okay, that's a lot of money. And then if you go up even higher, it's going to cost you even more, right? And yet all these products, if somebody wants to have a bulk mailer, so somebody wants to mail out, 100,000 emails, they can't go to their Gmail account and do that. It's not going to happen. Right? So you need a bulk mailer. So ONPASSIVE has O-Post. So instead of people using a company like JMailer Pro, they'll be able to use O-Post. And the list goes on and on. URL shortener. They can use O-Trim instead of using Bitly or Blink, right? Those other companies, because just with a trim URL, okay, with Bitly, if you want a URL shortener, it can go up to $300 per month just to have a link shortener. So the costs, can add up real quickly for people who is actually using these tools on the internet, and so when we look at what ONPASSIVE is provided, for just a few $100, right? So it starts with that. So the demand is going to be there, because if you can provide something, people with something that's more cost effective, naturally they're going to take a look, right? And when they see that it makes so much sense, they're going to become customers, right? And then from there, some of them will become resellers, right? So it's that part of it is a done deal. Right, but as we look at it, though, Frank, we clearly see this is what's going to happen. Okay, people, when we get to hard launch, so the full public launch, that's when people are going to purchase their product package. So they're getting all these products, right, for one low price. Okay, and they pay that one time out of pocket. And so what happens next is that, remember now, the company's going to set you up with your unique domain name. The company's going to be driving the traffic. The company's going to be doing the presentation, the follow up, closing the sale. Even the customer support, the company's doing all of that for you. Okay, so it truly is 100% hands-free. But then what happens though is that as these sales starts to come in, okay, so that's how you're making money, because as soon as the sale is made, you get paid instantly. You're not going to wait for a week or a month or whatever. As soon as the sale is made, you get paid instantly. And so the company will provide you with two wallets. You have a funding wallet and you have a withdrawal wallet. So every dollar that comes in, okay, that you earn, okay, a portion goes into the funding wallet and the rest goes into your withdrawal wallet. Anything that goes in your withdrawal wallet is yours to take out, whether daily, weekly, monthly. There's no requirements to withdraw, none of that. Whatever goes into your funding wallet, that now accumulates and then it pays the next month's subscription. Okay, so that's why we say it's one time out of pocket. Every month going forward, it's always coming out of your earnings. So if you make $500, they take out the amount for this month's subscription. If you make $1,000, same thing, right? So that will happen over and over again. As I said, and as we move on in time, we will clearly see that now you have 3 customers, then you have 10 customers, then you have 20. It just continues to grow, right? And so that's what's going to happen for people. So when we say it's one time out of pocket, you pay one time as a founder, right, out of your pocket, and then you pay one time for your actual products. Okay, that's it. Nothing else out of pocket. Everything else is going to be out of earnings. So it's a complete win-win for people. They don't have to worry about auto ship. You've been in business, Frank, that where there's an auto ship, people paying $100 a month, $200 a month, whatever, right? And then that there's some people, they're going to look, okay, this month I didn't make no money. Should I pay my auto ship, or should I pay for my bill? Should I pay my phone bill? Should I pay my hydro bill? You know what I mean? So with this, retention, we don't need to worry about retention. When people come into ONPASSIVE and they realize what it's really about, they're not leaving. They're not for 620,000. And I would say for those who have actually asked for a refund, because people do get 100% money back guarantee with it. We're talking about a handful of individuals who've done that. So that is amazing when you're talking about 620,000 people getting in. So the future is so bright. No